I was sitting on a park bench smoking a cigarette not long after I stopped being homeless. A guy I knew sat next to me, big. The kind of big that you don't think twice of what he could do to you. I told him everything. I told him I've been homeless, that I've been a drug addict, that I was back living with my parents, but it's not a safe haven there, but at least I don't have to live on the street anymore. He listened while he was rolling a joint, right? And when I was done, he looked at me with a slight smirk in his face and he asked me in German what kind of whore my mother must be to treat me like that. And he said it on purpose to trigger me, to incite my mother into my face, straight into my face. And I did nothing because, well, I couldn't. He was bigger than me. And if I would have said the wrong thing in that moment, he would have beaten me up, like badly. I knew him. So, yeah, I had to sit there and take it. That single moment on that bench taught me more about who I was than any conversation I'd ever had with myself. I had no presence, I had no weight behind me, I was a nobody. If you ever had a moment like that, not necessarily the same one, but a moment you found out exactly who you were by finding out what you couldn't do, you already know the feeling I'm talking about. And I decided right there that I never wanted to feel that ever again. What actually changed after that moment is the part most people never talk about. It doesn't fix itself with motivation. So I got my first apartment after that, and I was broke, my brother. And that's really hard to explain. You have to live that shit. I was frying onions in sunflower oil because that's what I had sometimes. I'm mixing flour with water and trying to call it pancakes, bro. In that apartment, something started. It was the first time of me really having a vision. I knew I didn't want to be this me anymore, and I started visualizing and going out of my current reality into a future. And I started asking myself, what do I want? How does my perfect me look like? What can he do? How easy, right? And yeah, I started doing push-ups, started boxing, reading books, meditation, my first contact with esoteric knowledge. I learned actually to watch my own thoughts instead of just being dragged around by them. I policed myself. I journaled because I had a vision of the man I wanted to become, and I knew this is what he was doing. Yeah, I want to be honest about the shape of what came after because it wasn't a straight line. I tried working a normal job first and I couldn't do it. There's just the idea of a boss telling me when I can have lunch, when I can leave, when I have to arrive, what I have to do. So, bro, no. I cannot do that shit. And I tried, and now I'm 30 years old. I think in my whole 30 years, in summary, I worked less than a year in different companies. I couldn't. Each time somebody told me, do this, do that, I go, "Phew, nope, bye, fuck you." So I taught myself something else instead. I went door to door through various businesses of my hometown, and I convinced people that they should buy a website for their business in order for their business to thrive. Because, well, if nobody can find you, nobody can find you. And yeah, well, it worked. It worked actually very good. And in addition to that, I sold them ads as well because, well, now you can be found when somebody searches for you, but they are actively searching your name. So in order for other people to find you, well, you have to put ads. And yeah, this is how I made my first good money. In the beginning, it took me a while, of course, but then it got better and better. And yeah, I was quite early into crypto. I put the money, or a lot of the money I made into crypto because I believed in the concept. Yeah, this guy I was at that time was nothing like the the small shy guy from this park bench anymore. Yeah, but here's something I usually don't speak about too much. Building the business meant I stopped taking care of my body. as I should. I mean, I went grinding, and in the night I hit the gym, yes, but I ate like an idiot, and I didn't work out as good as I could. And yeah, I got fat, bro, and I wasn't proud of my body. I avoided looking into the mirror even. And so I did the same again. That got me from a homeless guy to a guy at least with an apartment, but broke to a business owner with good money, earning 5 digits monthly. I got the vision of what I'm aiming for, acted in congruence, and bro, it worked again. From a fat business owner making good money to a ripped business owner making good money. And now I understand the principle, but at that time I didn't understand. I just thought, oh well, I set a goal and I reached it, but it wasn't like so. And yeah, after that I wanted another challenge for me. So I turned to something that really hurt me when I was a teenager, and it was women. I've been rejected over and over and over by women consistently back then. And some part of me needed to, you know, prove that this chapter was closed. And bro, I applied the same principle to that as well. Worked again. Probably too well. For a while, I told myself it's proof I made it, but I fucked, I don't know, 150, 200 women throughout my life, and I thought, well, back then at least, this is it, this is the thing, I'm the man, but oh, complete bullshit. I was so wrong. I was so wrong. It wasn't that. It was empty, bro. And the strange thing about that, it's this kind of emptiness that gets emptier the more you pour into. It's a bottomless pit, and then another woman and another woman. It's like, what's going on here? And, me just laying in the bed after the act, staring at the ceiling, asking myself, what the fuck did you do again, Fabio? And it took me a while to understand that what I was actually looking for wasn't more women, it was something bigger than any of this. So I turned to something I'd always done casually but never really seriously: combat sports, my brother. I've always been doing some boxing and kickboxing, and I doubled and tripled down training Muay Thai for years. Lots of sparring, amateur fights. And then I set the goal to fight in the biggest stadium of Muay Thai in Bangkok, the Rajadamnern Stadium. And yeah, I won.
We have a winner by ways of ticket knockout. Red corner, Samuel.
And with my brothers around cheering me up, I don't know, 500 or 1,000 people watching me, I don't know, it was full in there. And somewhere in the middle of all of that, the business, the body, the women, the fighting, I started meditating, bro. Not casually, I'm talking daily for years. I have a YouTube channel for that, just look it up. I got really deep into that. There's some meditations of me sitting there 45, 60 minutes on meditation. I really wanted to get to know myself. And it was at that time, after really having this meditation in my life every morning, where I could find myself and understand myself, what was going on all the time. And yeah, at some point it clicked. Every single one of those chapters, homeless to housed, broke to business owner making good money, fat to ripped, rejected to wanted, untested to be a fighter in the ring, it always followed the exact same pattern, my brother. I never disciplined my way into any of that. I decided who I was first, and the discipline just showed up as byproduct, like it had nowhere else to be. The mistake I made for years was thinking each of those changes was a separate battle. A fitness battle, a money battle, a confidence battle, each one requiring its own fight, its own willpower, starting from zero every time. It took me a long time and a lot of quiet sitting with myself before I saw that it was never separate, my brother. It was the same mechanism, run again and again and again on a different target each time. And I called this mechanism the alchemy of will. And once I saw the pattern clearly, bro, I couldn't unsee it. And I couldn't keep it to myself either. You know, guys around me asking me how I'd done it, especially guys from my past, but even my entrepreneur friends. They saw my success, they saw what I was doing, saw the money, the women, the body, me fighting, all of those things. Like, how, bro? How did you do that? And you would think that I would explain my gym routine. You would think that I would explain, I don't know, some pickup craft or some, I don't know, some tools or some AI tools are working. But I each time I look back and I see myself explaining that, I explain the mechanisms that I was doing to myself in order to be this version that does that. I was never talking about gym or pickup lines or AI or tools or the computer. I was always talking about what is going on in here. And that's the reason why I became a coach, because each time I explained to one of my guys and they actually applied it to themselves, I they always got back to me like, what? What? And I'm like, I know. And I don't think that story matters because of specific details, the apartment, the bench, whatever. I think it matters because somewhere in it, some part of it probably looks familiar to you. Not the exact same events, of course, the feeling underneath them. And if it does, my brother, I talk about the actual mechanism behind all of this and the rest of what's going on this beautiful YouTube channel. Drop a like and subscribe if you want to keep going with it. I know what it feels like to have an idea that you want to reach for yourself, and I would prefer to give you the the ticket to the fast lane instead of you figuring out the hard way as I had to. Hope it resonated. Stay strong. See you in the next one.